oh, isn't that girl who came on? You're not even on TV. This is the one we saw on TV.
Wait, so this is a day after you've been on TV?
And it was first ever morning show in Ghana.
Wow.
So the whole of Ghana, in fact, the whole of West Africa watched it.
So what I'm hearing you say is, on one hand, you are this superstar, you pioneered this.
Sudden superstar.
And then 3 days later,
I'm sweeping the gutter. And people were there. And
oh no.
when I finished, I went in there crying. My father came in and said, no, that is not to humiliate you. Humility will take you to places that money can never take you. Spirits live in the bathroom. So whatever you say and think, they pick it up. A woman is the one who knows her worth.
Knows her worth.
And understands that life happens.
Okay.
And is willing to pick herself up no matter what comes her way. Society has failed men terribly. So men are not married. Boys are getting married.
Ooh. Welcome to the SuperHuman Mindset podcast.
If you don't have belief in what you're doing, it'll be very, very hard for you to get others to believe and follow on.
What do you want people to remember about you?
And you know, there's a small, still voice within you.
Yeah. Think deeper, live higher. Some voices report stories and gossip. Others change and shape how a nation thinks. And today, I'm privileged to be sitting with a voice that has stayed and maintained relevancy in Ghana and in Africa over decade upon decade. Almost 30 years of being a solid, respectable voice in this sub-region. Ohemaa, Gifty Anti, it is such a pleasure to be with you today.
It's an honor to be here.
Welcome to the SuperHuman Mindset podcast.
Thank you very much. But I need to let you know that after this program, you're going to give me a white sheep because I'm Ohemaa Gifty Anti.
Ohemaa Gifty Anti.
Yes, sir.
I apologize. Welcome to the SuperHuman Mindset podcast.
You're welcome.
This has been a long time coming. When I think about what you have done over the years, it is really mind-boggling. Blows minds. To stay relevant from standpoint, media, every single time your name is mentioned, it comes with this power, respect. When the ladies hear your name, they start to smile. How have you done this?
How have I done this? You know, it's become a cliche to say, I don't know, but I do know.
Okay.
It's been hard work. It's been deliberate effort to stay authentic, to be myself. Ultimately, it's also been allowing God to direct me where He wants me to go. I've missed my ways many times, but God has always found a way to bring me back.
Wow.
And it's been possible because I learned the act of obedience and understanding that everything happens for a reason. And whatever happens at every given time, it's not up to you to complain. Yes, complain. But the best thing to do is to ask yourself, what can I do? This is where I find myself. What can I do whilst I'm here?
So
while I'm waiting.
So it's really about the questions you're asking yourself.
Exactly. You need to ask yourself questions.
Wow.
You need to be candid with yourself. It's okay to blame others.
Okay.
But it's very important to take accountability.
So when I have things that are going on in my life and I'm over there going, oh my gosh, I wish my dad, my mom, my uncle, my auntie, somebody could have done whatever it is. They did not give me the right education. They did not put me in the right spaces with the right people. All of that does matter. But what I'm hearing you say is there's a deeper part, which is about the questions I am asking myself.
Exactly. So all that you've narrated are the truth.
Yes.
You didn't get the opportunity. They could have helped. They didn't. You know, they had the opportunity to put you do this. But the most important question is, okay, that didn't happen. Now that I'm here, what can I do? What do I do?
You mentioned you've missed your way several times.
Yeah.
Let's take it back a little bit. When I was trying to research on you, one of the things that came up was you were a carpenter.
Yeah.
In Ghana.
Yeah.
How does that even happen?
And I have the mark to show for it, There's lacquer, Yeah.
How does a woman back then
Right.
decide to go do carpentry? Please.
Yeah. Life happened. I finished sixth form and I desperately wanted to go to the university. I didn't get admission. I came home. I was desperate. It was almost a borderline depression, and I met these guys at the trade fair who were making wall carvings. It's not the recent one. Those days, this is what, 95, 96, thereabout. So they would just cut the wood in the shape of a map or a woman or something, and then transport it onto another, how do you call it? Plywood.
Okay.
To make a design. That's what they were doing. So I was helping them sell at the trade fair. And I decided to follow up to where they work. When I got there, I saw what they were doing. So the role I was given at that point was to make sure that I lacquer. Do you know what is lacquer?
Yeah. Like polish it.
Polish it.
Yeah.
So they do the carving, they do the cutting and everything.
Yeah.
And I do the polishing.
I see.
So there were three of us.
Yeah.
There was Michael, there was David, and myself. It was a Teshinogwa opposite the Teshinogwa estate, opposite the Fun Milk. Anybody. There's still, that carpentry shop is still there. I need to visit them one of these days.
It's interesting you mentioned that because my parents had a building and construction company. So when we were off school, get back to the shop.
Yeah.
And the whole idea was that's where you kind of wait till the shop closes and then you go home.
Yeah.
But I always found myself with the carpenters doing all of the sanding, using the machines to kind of plane it and all of that. So lacquer, I had several experiences with that.
Right.
When you think about yourself as that woman, and then you look at what is happening in our nation, you've shaped how a nation like Ghana even rethinks and looks at things that are happening in our country. When you look at who you have been all the way up until now, and you are thinking about what a woman is or who a woman is, how would you describe a woman?
A woman is the one who knows her worth.
Knows her worth.
And understands that life happens.
Okay.
And is willing to pick herself up no matter what comes her way.
Wow.
She doesn't make excuses. Life happens to her. She knows that she could have had it better. She knows that people have been wicked to her. But then she sits and asks herself, what next? Quite recently I did, I have this motivational piece called A Bit of Me.
Yes.
I did one and I asked the question, and so what? That every time you need to ask yourself, and so what?
And so what?
What has happened? Great. Achievement. Whatever it is. What is most important is what is happening now and what you're going to do about it. I always tell people that anytime I cherish awards, whenever I don't work for the award.
Yes.
But anytime I get it, I'm so excited and at the same time I'm afraid. I'm afraid because it then tells me that you need to up your game. So you've been awarded or been honored for what you have done, not what you're about to do.
Oh, wait. You went by too fast. So the awards for the work that you've done in the past.
Exactly.
And what I'm hearing you say is most of the time we are so stuck in the past that we are not thinking about the actions that we are doing today to prepare us for the future.
You see why I love you.
Ooh. So
exactly.
Okay.
We are too quick to settle,
Yeah.
to become complacent, to live in past glory or present circumstances. But what about tomorrow? In everything that I do, I'm always, every single year, I tell people that in God's calendar, there's nothing like New Year 31st or whatever. No. But then that calendar year gives you the opportunity to rethink, to re-strategize, To tell yourself that, okay, I have another opportunity.
Another opportunity.
So every single year, I'm asking myself, what can I do? I have 8 books. Last year, I was supposed to write another book. If I was 2 books, I couldn't do it. I was beating myself up. And then it struck me, yes, you didn't write a book, but you went on a book tour the first time. You were in the US.
Yeah, we were supposed to.
In
do that.
UK,
Yeah.
you went to 16 different programs. In UK, promoting and talking about your books and motivating and encouraging and inspiring. After that, you went to Italy. Then you went to South Africa. That is something.
So your internal self-talk is everything. You know, it's interesting, like as you keep on giving these examples, right? I remember the story about the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible, and Jesus was walking past, and when she was walking towards him, it was not about what Jesus wanted. It was about what she was telling herself. And the Bible says, as she was going, she kept on saying, if only I could touch the hem of his garment. And the man did not even have any idea.
No.
So what she was telling herself.
Yeah.
But I think we're in the age where we don't even acknowledge self-talk anymore.
No.
Why?
No. And it's sad. I tell people that if I were to be living in a compound house, I'm sure my co-tenant will say that I'm a mad woman.
Hey.
Because I'm always talking to myself, especially in the bathroom. When I'm in the shower, I'm talking, I'm asking myself, I'm strategizing. I get all my ideas. In fact, I get my theme and my purpose in the shower.
You just gave me a light bulb moment. You know, when we were kids, they would always say, you don't talk, you don't sing in the bathroom. For the longest time, up until sitting here right now, I always thought it was because of the chemicals they had for the soap. It could go in your mouth, in your eyes, whatever. No, that's not what it is.
And traditionalists will tell you that spirits live in the bathroom. So whatever you say and think, they pick it up. I don't know whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
But for me, most of the things I've thought about in the shower, in the bathroom, I run with it. It becomes my theme for the year. This year, I think it was 30th or something. And I was in the shower and I was just thinking, I said, 2026, purple will be my color. Just like that.
Just like that.
Purple will be my color. I didn't even understand what purple means, what it stands for, whatever. I just said purple. Then I went to Google, read about it. Purple signifies regal, royalty, relevance,
yes,
purpose, resilience, and consistency.
Okay. So this was not a prophetic word in
No.
Hey, my sister, I went into the spirit.
No. It just occurred to me that make purple. So all my daughters who saw, and my birthday is coming up on the 23rd of January, oh, mommy, what color are you using? That I said, oh, this year's purple.
Purple.
Last year it was all white. This year I said it's purple. And it just came. And sometimes the idea comes. And that's the mistake that a lot of people make. They get the idea and they run with it without thinking through and researching and reading about it to get the clarity of what this idea stands for. So it comes like, okay, they say, let me go and sell tomatoes. So you just go and say, no, you need to go back.
Test it.
Test it. Do your research. How do you get the tomatoes? Where do you get it from? How do you preserve it? What else can you do with tomatoes apart from selling at the market?
Wow. So there's the idea, clarity, execution.
And in between that, there's the process.
Is there a way to recreate the shower moments? There's been lots of research. I spent a lot of time, even with my background in cybersecurity, computer science, all of that. I spent a lot of research in human psychology because in order for my job to be effective, I have to know how the attacker thinks or how the hacker thinks. Yeah. So I need to study how the human brain works. Yeah. And one of the things that I found was when you are in the shower, just like we're talking about, you get into this state where you are in a relaxed mode and your brain now allows itself to make several connections. Have you found other ways that you've been able to recreate those shower moments?
You know, as we are talking, it just dropped in my spirit.
Yeah.
The shower moment is the alone moment.
Whew.
It's the alone moment. It's the solitude moment. That moment where you are quote unquote naked, letting your guard down, not being bothered by it. Because when you're in the shower, you are naked. You don't, it's just you. The water doesn't matter, whatever it is. It's just you. So you have clarity, presence of mind, and you have that ability to be true to yourself.
Man, it's been 17 years of being away from Ghana. Of course, I do come back every year, but now things are really making sense. Like, I literally had to force myself to take cold showers just so I can ignite my brain to start thinking. When I'm here, I don't have to think about it. The shower is cold anyway, and it's already there.
Yeah.
I would have to bother myself to do a walk, a jog before my day starts. I don't have to do that. I have to get out to go get some vitamin D. Vitamin D is not even enough in the US. I have to take like 3,000 IUs of vitamin D every day to stay sharp.
Yeah.
But here I get out and it's there.
It's free.
And I'm realizing that we have it all.
Yeah.
So I have a question if I switch lanes a little bit. Now, before I switch lanes, guys, if you have not subscribed to this podcast, we're about to get deeper. Pause, hit the like and subscribe button and join us in this conversation. All right. When I think about the girl child growing to become a woman, you talk a lot about this. Has our society failed us?
Society has failed us in many ways. Anybody who gets to hear my story wonder why I speak for women and not for men.
Yeah, why not?
Because, if you give me an opportunity to talk about even the air, my father's name will come up somehow. Because I'm a daddy's girl through and through, not a daddy's girl in terms of being spoiled. A daddy's girl because I am who I am today because of my father. The nuggets, how he got me involved in everything that he did. My father was the one who would, go to every extent to make sure that I stayed in school, that I went to sixth form, even though he was in his I think he was on his second retirement phase or something.
And he still
but he still found work. He was selling insurance from door to door to make sure. I'm the last of 8 children.
Wow.
He could have easily given up.
Yeah.
Because he's taking care of the 7. Last one, and the girl too. This is a man who was born 1916. Ancient man.
Wow.
Gold Coast trained police officer. Trained. Proud achievement.
Even a police officer. And an chairman.
Chairman, Presbyterian trained.
Eish.
But my father understood the importance of raising a girl, giving her the opportunity to become whatever. My father never hassled me about marriage, never bothered me about what he wants me to be. He only gave me 3 options. Become somebody, be able to help society. And 3, never forget where you are coming from. The first time I came on TV, that's the morning show, live TV, was 13th February 1997. It was a Thursday. Then it was once a week.
Yep.
The Monday, my father woke me up very early. We lived in Tema, just by the main road, where buses, workers pass. My father woke me very early and asked me to go and sweep the gutter. The gutter was quite low, so everybody. And then sister thought that she was sure I wore some shorts and then some top. Then he brought me a cloth to cover myself to sweep the gutter. And he was standing there. These buses were passing. Oh, isn't that girl who came on? You don't know who on TV. This is the one we saw on TV.
Wait, so this is a day after you've been on TV?
This is Thursday, Monday. So it was my first time. And it was first ever morning show in Ghana.
Wow.
So the whole of Ghana, in fact, the whole of West Africa watched it.
Wow.
Because during those times, GTV could go far.
Yeah. And
it's on, I think in West Africa, I think our show was the first ever morning show.
Wow.
On TV. The breakfast show on GTV. So almost everybody watched it.
And literally at the time, that was the only TV station anyway. So that's all you would watch. So what I'm hearing you say is, on one hand, you are this superstar, you pioneered this.
Sudden superstar.
And then 3 days later,
I'm sweeping the gutter. And people were there. And
oh no.
when I finished, I went in there crying. My father came in and said, no, that is not to humiliate you. That's to teach you that you are the least among your siblings. You are the last born. It's just an opportunity that God has given you. Don't forget where you are coming from. Don't forget who you are. And I want you to understand that this thing that you've done, that maybe some will laugh at you, but then others will use it to raise their children, telling them that it doesn't take away from you who you are and what you are. Yes, you are Gifty Auntie. Yes, you are the one who was on TV. But yes, you don't forget that you have a home. You have a family. And you need to keep your environment clean.
Wow.
So when the humility is key. I remember they said, humility will take you to places that money can never take you.
Wow. We look at, in our modern world today, we hear women say, I don't need to prove myself to any man.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that valid?
Yeah. You don't need to prove to. You just need to be yourself.
What does that
mean? And the man will see your worth. You know, the Bible talks about, let me play your own words to you.
Please.
The Bible talks that a man will leave
his father and mother's house
and cleave.
Yes.
What will make a man leave and cleave to you?
What they see.
He must see something in you.
But isn't that proven though?
You are not proving to the man.
Okay.
You will prove you're living your truth, your life. If you're proving to the man, that is fake. That's pretense. That is what society now call a pick-me.
They call it what?
Pick-me. So then the man comes and you can't pretend forever. You can't be something you're not.
You're not.
You know, I tried, during my journey, I've asked myself, God, people will tell me, listen, the things that other people are doing, you can do it, you can. And sometimes I try and I'm like, no. This is not me. We all have our niche. I'm known for something. I can't be somebody who's also known for something else.
Absolutely.
The fact that maybe I started before that, or I have a following or whatever it is, doesn't mean I should do that person. What that person is doing, I can add that to support that person can support me as well. We all have our purpose in our journeys. If I pretend, I try to be like somebody, I will fail miserably.
So what I'm hearing you say is be true to who you are.
True to who you are.
But I have a challenge with that though. What does that mean, to be true to who you are? What if the person wakes up, they think they are doing it, but they are not. They think in their mind, especially in the society we are in right now, where it's just like, oh, you know what, I see myself as this, so I am. But then they hear you say, you give them the greatest motivational message, hey, you know what, you are living your truth, be true to who you are, but you just woke up, you didn't even add any value.
Great, that's the point.
Yes.
You don't add any value because you don't know your value. You are not being worthy because you don't know your worth. Listen, I didn't know my purpose. I didn't understand maybe my worth.
Your worth, yeah.
All I wanted at a point when I didn't get admission to tech, all I wanted was to find a job, a good job that I can make money.
Make money.
I wanted to be a land economist. That didn't happen.
Yes.
I wanted to be a PR practitioner because those times they were the ones who had money. They were driving the Peugeot 505. So I wanted that. I didn't get it. So my brother told me, try journalism. Even if you don't get a PR, you do journalism, you can still be a public relations officer. For my internship, I went to a PR department, internal revenue, headed by the then late president, Atta Mills. And at my department, after just one, I was supposed to be there 6 months. just 1 month, one person, my head of department, came to me and said, Gifty, go and try a media house. If you don't like it, come. I thought that man hated me. I wondered what he had done to me, what I had done to him.
What you done to him?
I went and never went back.
Wow.
My path had to be redirected. I remember in my attempt to get to GIJ, Ghana Institute of Journalism, I would face 3 panels. Each panel told me that I'll be good for journalism. I said, no, I wanted PR. They saw something that I didn't see. So listen to advice. Talk to yourself. Allow people to help you identify something that you do not know. But of course, pray about it. Ask yourself questions. Is this what I want? Can I do this? So I tell people that I didn't fall in love with journalism. Journalism fell in love with me. It literally chased me.
You gave yourself the opportunity, though. You allowed there to be redirection.
Exactly.
I mean, now, I think it gets really, really hard, especially in this modern day and age where people just don't want to listen. You said, that man, I don't know what I did to him. I felt like he hated me. But now you were placed in a place where if journalism fell in love with you.
Yeah.
If there's a lady looking at you right now, and I know I'm just pointing to my ladies today.
Yeah.
But if there's a lady that's been listening to you, looking at you today, what are 3 things you would tell them? Double check yourself.
Yes. First of all, understand who you are. I tell people that the best way to identify your purpose is to find out what you love and what you hate, and find out how you can bridge the two, how you can make a difference.
What you love and what you hate.
I love to see women succeed. I hate to see women being disrespected, being abused and all that.
Okay.
So what could I do?
Oh, so you're not discarding the things you hate?
No.
Huh.
I was there just to bridge the gap.
And that's your purpose?
That's my purpose.
Oh, wow.
To inspire, to empower, to encourage, to bring solutions. And it was all a process. I started by talking and, shouting. People say that, oh, these days we don't hear talking. I said, yes, because I am working now. I'm I'm helping women find work to do. I'm helping them start up businesses. I'm helping their children get shoes to wear, food to eat.
Yeah, you just donated 10,000 shoes.
Yes.
Wow.
The little things that can relieve them, to make them know that, listen, somebody cares about me. I need to sit up and start caring for myself. And also learn to take advice. There's a difference between criticism and attack. A lot of the things people say, it is an attack. Criticism directs you or redirects you to the right path, to what you can do to better your craft. Attack just rubbishes everything you have done.
Oh, this is deep. So if I'm a woman, I think this goes for everybody. If I am asking myself, how do I find my purpose? It's not about woohoo, guru, nothing. Look at the things that you hate. Look at the things that you love, and then find yourself in between. How do you bridge the gap?
Yeah, how you bridge the gap. And sometimes your lived experiences, things that happen to you that you were not happy about.
And that's why you were even put in there in the first place.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
And the things that happen that you're happy about. So anytime I have to speak to people, there's this exercise I do. I let them close their eyes.
Yep.
And I take them to 2 deep places. First one is their place of pain and misery. The thing that happened to them, that broke them, that made them sad, that made them even literally push them to the edge. And 2, the things that happened to them that made them so happy, made them realize that they are worth something, they are appreciated. And then when I come out, I ask them, which one do you want? Definitely everybody's going to go to the happy place.
Happy place.
How do you get to the happy place? Find your purpose
Find
there.
your purpose there. Wow. I want to hammer on the men. Guys, I'm coming for you right now. We've always blamed women for, if the child doesn't grow up well, it's the woman's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the mom has to have all the kids and do everything.
Yeah.
And we've left the men.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, it was mostly send your girl child to school. Everything was women.
You know, I was in that video.
Oh, you were?
I was in that video.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what about the men?
That was one of the dances.
Wow. Now I have to go watch this video again. What about the men? Are we holding men to high standards as leaders that they are supposed to be?
Unfortunately, no. We are just letting them be men. Oh, he's a man. Oh, as for men, it's in their DNA. Oh, as for man, no matter what you do, that's what it is. Oh, allow him to be a man. So society has failed men terribly. And when I say society, both men and women, institutions, religious organizations, traditions, politics, what have you, have failed men because we do not hold them accountable for their actions and inactions. You know, when I became a feminist at first, I fought against this whole idea of a man being the head and all that. I always fight and get upset when they say man being, Then, thank God for wisdom. I just sat down and analyzed. Fine. Yeah, the man is the head. I'm a Christian. The Bible uses a lot of examples to make a man the head.
Yeah.
But a head is a leader. The neck can be the leader. The arm is not the leader. The head, the brain, everything is in there. Supposed to be the leader. So why am I the person who is supposed to help the leader, held accountable for the failures of the leader? How does that make sense? We tout in politics, when countries fail, is the leadership. Church is leadership. When it comes to marriage, when it fails, it's women.
Oof.
But in the Garden of Eden, it was a man who was created first, according to the Bible.
According to the Bible, yeah.
His rib was taken to create a woman. He said, come and be a helpmate. Help this one. So why am I being blamed if he doesn't allow me to help him? And in any case, sometimes, and most of the times, the person helping you knows something you do not know. That's why he or she is helping you. If you can do it all, you don't need help.
You don't need help.
If you can do it all, you do not need help.
So if society, and I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. At first, we started with this verse where you leave and cleave. But the Bible clearly said a man.
A man.
And at first, we would hold men to this high standard. You had to be able to provide, protect, lead before you were called a man.
Yeah.
And now, there's nothing like a man. And we don't even know. Because if I have an issue, who am I talking to as a man?
You see, patriarchy is so strong. And it's been in existence for years. And even when you go into the Bible,
yes,
patriarchy is in there. And instead of coming to the age of wisdom, understanding, and appreciating the woman of femininity, we are rather pushing. And in pushing against it, we are dropping standards when it comes to the men. So men are not marrying. Boys are getting married.
Ooh.
Boys are getting into positions of authority. A man takes responsibility. A man understands accountability. A man understands protection, provision, preservation. Boys are entitled. He's not growing title. The mother is still, or whoever is still taking. So I'm entitled. You have to do this. You have to save me. You have to do that. You have to do that. But what about what I, as the man, what about what the man has to do?
Yeah. How do we, if I'm a young guy,
Yeah.
still am, by the way.
You still are, yes.
And I'm listening to you right now, and I want to double check myself. Am I still in boy stage or am I in manhood stage?
You are in a process. You are becoming a man.
Becoming a man. How do I know?
You need to self-talk. You ask yourself. You analyze yourself. You know, it's that's why mentorship is so important. Role modeling is so important. You know, I'm somebody I get to a point where people say, oh, you share too much of your story. I said, yes. I say it because I don't want people to form misinformed or have misconceptions about this whole thing of becoming, you know, famous or becoming a public space. I think my 7th book, no, that's my 6th book, When Strong Women Cry, I cataloged some of the things that people like me go through every time and still pick ourselves up. It doesn't mean that we don't cry. So you need to ask yourself questions. Find somebody. Who do you want to become? Who do you look up to? Your father? How did you see your father? Have you had conversations with your father? Candid conversations with your father? Oof. Have you asked your mother about your father? Or your aunties or whoever? As a woman, have you asked, do you even know the stories of the women in your family?
We don't.
As a man, do you know the stories of the men in your family? Who were you named after? You see, we are Africans. We are Ghanaians.
Yes.
I tell people that I became this woman of resilience and influence and damning the consequences and having the audacity when I understood my names. I am Efia Dansua. Efia is Obi Ofifi, someone who germinates. Dansua is Obia or Danso, somebody who is unique.
Unique, yep.
So I understood that my journey is not the same like everybody's. It's different.
Oh.
And understood also that I'll be buried, but if I stay consistent and I fight, I will germinate. I'll still come up. That's why when I was installed as a queen mother, the Dansua is not part of the name.
The name.
But I pleaded that they keep my name Dansua.
You're unique.
The woman warrior that I was named after, she was called Efua Nkuma.
Wow.
Now, Efua is the same as Efia, someone who germinates.
Yes.
And I'm the first because she was not a queen mother. When I asked the elders about, they were just curious. I said, I want to know about this woman before I take her name.
Wow.
I learned that she was one of the 3 women who fought to establish Ekumfi Nanaben. She was selfless. Nkuma, Okum Nehoma. Okum Nehoma.
Okum Nehoma.
She was selfless. She fought to help others.
Wow.
She was a warrior.
Wow.
I said, give me that name.
Give me that name.
I'll take it. And I pray and hope that I will emulate that. I am on that journey, but that reinforces and gives me clarity, understanding about my purpose and my cause and my journey.
I really like how you just gave us a crash course on identity in literally 1 minute.
Yeah.
Go back to who you are.
Yes.
Figure out where you are from. Understand what is behind the names, the trends in your family. Have you been doing this?
Yeah. And let me add this. Sometimes you may find out that the person you were named after, you know, in Akan, they say, Yento Samai Bonidi. We don't name somebody after a bad person. So there may be somebody in the streets with that name. That is not a good person. But that's not the person you were named after. Go back. The original person with that name was a good person, has some traits, had a history, did something. Pick that. In Ghana, we've given some names, bad names, like Chewa and all that. Oh, this, that. Because there was some Chewa that was, no. But the original Chewa did something. People take pride in the name Yasantua. Do you know what Yasantua went through? Do you know she was called a witch? Do you know she was, literally hounded out of town? Do you know that you don't even know the story of this woman. So if you're called a Santua, you must understand your journey.
Oh my goodness, man, I really wish we could keep going on this, because the crash courses you are giving us, you started off by telling us who we are, where we are coming from. You told us about how to find our purpose. You gave us literally step by step things that we should be looking at to find where we are and then how we can move forward. Now, there's still this young lady or this young guy that's watching you. They've seen all the amazing things you've done.
Yeah.
They've been seeing your motivational messages, inspirational messages for 2026 going viral. If you were to go back to you at 25, at the age of 25, what would you tell Gifty at the time?
Oh, save. 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 Listen to advice. Don't follow people blindly. Understand that peer pressure is real. But ask yourself, do you want to be a follower or a leader? I was a follower for too long. Peer pressure had a better part of me in my younger days. I didn't understand my purpose, a complex, the environment I grew up in, being the only one who went to Saito among my friends, coming for a background that didn't have much, that all kind of had a way of eating me up. But if only I had known that my story is different, my journey is different. So, Gifty Nana Efia Dansoa at 25. Girl, save, learn, take your time, understand the process. Take good care of yourself, your health. Understand that life happens. But no matter what happens, you are worthy. You have a purpose. Your destiny is secured. Learn to clean your face when you cry, and don't share too much of yourself with people.
Wow. I just got out of college. I'm a young lady. I'm a young guy. My parents are pressuring me, go get married. Biological clock is ticking.
Thank God for advancement in medicine, in science. Girl, guy, you have no business getting married if you don't have a job. If you don't have money in your account, it includes you, the young lady. I don't care how much money your parents have. You need to be working. You need to be making some money. It doesn't matter how much. Every job is worth doing, even if it's cleaning or whatever it is. It gives you a sense of self-worth. It gives you some confidence and boldness. Everything done with honesty and dignity becomes successful. And remember, success is relative. To some, money is success. Others, advancement, achievement, impact is success. And let me tell you something. When we talk about void and fulfilling, having self-fulfillment, material things can never fill that void. Never. And I'm telling you that even to date, I was crying. I said I need a car when I feel a car, I got a nice car for Christmas. That void was still there.
Oof.
And I realized that, no, it wasn't the car that I needed. There was something deeper. There's always something deeper. And you need to feel it. Material things are good. They're great. But always seek fulfillment. I tell people, My relaxation is my stress. I'm at my happiest best when I'm helping people, when I'm helping to solve problems, when I'm making an impact, going yet. It's the adrenaline is up there, and it's the same thing that stresses me. Now, how to manage it well is what I'm learning. To have the fine balance between the two. So, girl, sir, I beg, marriage is beautiful. In fact, marriage can be very beautiful and very exciting. But if you're not ready, if you are not financially sound, if you don't have a job, if you're not a man, if you're not a woman, if you meaning maturity, don't go in there.
Wow.
You know, I'm married at the age of 45. And I thought it was going to be cool because, I mean, we had all, we lived. So, yeah. But apparently, no. Marriage is a journey. And it doesn't matter when you start. You'll go through the process.
Marriage is a journey. And it doesn't matter when you start.
You'll go through.
You're still going to go through the process. I guess that answers my last question. Anyway, so try to no agenda preko.
Sharp.
So you might as well get started early so you can figure it out.
When you're ready.
If you can, when you're ready.
Yeah.
Wow. Queen Mother, thank you so much for the words of wisdom you have given us. To everybody that's listening to us, she said it all. This episode has been one of our most powerful episodes. And if you have not clicked the like, share, and subscribe button, do it right now. One last word for 2026. You have the prophetic. Give us the word for 2026.
Everybody says 2026 is a good year. And yes, it's a good year. But for me, it's the year of return. Return to basics. Return to what has to be. Return to where God wants you to be. Return to purpose. Return to God's plan for your life. Enough of the wandering. You're going back like the Israelites went back. We are going back. That's the only way we can succeed this year. Align. He's giving us enough room. 2026. Let's get back in line.
Interestingly, you didn't know this, but all the people we've talked to, I think you're the sixth person we're talking to this week.
Yeah.
Everyone has said alignment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I told you. You were the prophetic. Well, thank you for joining the Superhuman Mindset podcast. This has been amazing. I will catch you on the next episode. Queen Mother, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your wisdom. God bless you.
God bless you too.